Hey folks, it's time for FrugalPrepper. The mobile mechanic vehicle needs some help. It needs some work. I've been putting it off for a while, but it needs, let's see, down here I'm going to do an oil change on it. It's time. Needs a new wheel hub on the front. Needs new sway bar bushing. Needs a new belt. And I got to get it cleaned out. And I need to rotate the tires. We'll just go from there, I guess. Yeah. This vehicle's got like 330 some thousand on it. I bought it for $200. I put new suspension parts under it, fixed the windows, fixed the glove box, a couple other things. And I just been driving it and using it to do all my mobile mechanic work. And sometimes a guy's got to stop and fix his own stuff. So it's a Sunday. I got a little time in between customers' vehicles. I'm going to work on this. I think I'll get her jacked up in the air first, and we'll start working. All right, so this has been making some noise while I've been driving, and I jack it up, and she got some play in her. Definitely time for that one to get replaced. I put a used one on the other side last year, but this one needs a new one. So we'll go ahead and get all the tools out here and get this done. Already cut myself on my tripod. Yeah, just can't win for losing anymore, I'll tell you. Of course, these lug nuts are kind of swollen. I don't have my bigger stuff. I have a 19.5 somewhere, but I don't know where it is right now. That bolt. Screwdriver here, kind of pry this forward and press this caliper a little bit. Take this off, set it back there. Alright, let me go get a price on that. Go get a price on this axle. As you can see here, it's split. It's got water and stuff in it, and it's really loose. That's probably part of the clicking I'm hearing, even more so than this wheel bearing. But I'm definitely hearing that wheel bearing too. But yeah. Sway bar links look okay. They've been on there like 3 years now. I don't know if I'll get them apart or not. The rubber's starting to split. But I'm gonna try to get this sway bar bushing right here, because that one is bad. They're both bad, and they rattle when I hit bumps. We'll just have to see. I could probably use some new rotors too. But you know, they're fine for now. All right, let me go price an axle and see how much that is. All right, so the only place that had one in stock in town was at Advance, and they want $122 for one. I ordered it on Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. It was $39. So that's what I did. These auto parts stores are going to have to do better with their prices if they're going to compete with Amazon. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and change the hub and try to get the sway bar links changed. And we'll just go from there. So now we just got to get all right. Find my 13mm socket. See where it went. Every sockets keep rolling away. There it is. Oh, this is one of those fun ones. You gotta take the wheel speed sensor out of the way to get to the bolt. There. Oh, it came off. So now, let's get to the bolt back here. Man, these bolts weren't very tight. Somebody's replaced this before and they haven't tightened up the bolts. This has a nut in the bolt, or nut on the back of that bolt with a stud that comes out of the bolt head to hold that in. To hold the bracket on. These have that. Not all GMs do. That bolt, that's out. Now we just have to work on the rest of these. Getting them out. I'm getting all greasy because this axle's been spewing grease everywhere. I should go get my power tools, but you know, we'll get it eventually. That. So this is usually the tougher one to get to, but you can get them. Looks like this hub's gonna come right loose. I ain't gonna have to hammer on it with the big sledgehammer. A lot of times you gotta hammer on these suckers to get them out. This one's gonna come right on out. Pretty as you please. yeah, that's bad. Okay. So now I'm just going to clean this out a little bit and clean this off a little bit with some air tools. Okay. I didn't turn the breaker on for the air compressor, so I hope I got enough air in it. Just get that little corrosion. That's just a carbide cutter. It just helps get some of that corrosion out of the way. And then we'll take our Whizzy disc and clean the rest of this off. I'm going to spray this sway bar link bolt down real good, and we're going to put a little bit of lube on this axle as well. Hope that slide in there a little easier. Make sure that feels good. All right, now we'll go get the new hub and sticker in there. All right, so I got my hub here. It has a R on the box. That does not mean right. That means rendezvous. Because I have one in stock for a different Buick too. And I think they were the same, but I wasn't sure. So I wrote an L on that one for Lucerne. And an R on this one for rendezvous, so I didn't get them confused. You get these online, you know, for like 40 bucks. They'll cost you like 150 if you go to Advanced or AutoZone. So with these, you just gotta take, let me show you here. You just gotta take this plastic cover that comes on them off, right? And you gotta make sure that this goes back on. Don't forget this, so you'll be taking that off. In fact, it would be a good idea to clean this off a little bit with my Whizzy tool, just to make sure that that's good and clean. Just want to get any of the big rusty spots off so that it sits nice and flush, so that this doesn't end up crooked or anything, because that's got to do with your wheel alignment and everything else. Now your wire, you got to make sure you put your ABS wire back in the right spot here as well. So you got to remember to do that. You don't want to end up with it on this side and be like, oh, that's the wrong side, and then you have to tear it all back apart. And then we'll just stick her back in here, like so. And we just got to get her lined up and get a bolt started in her. Now make sure this bolt, oh, I'm sorry. I got her back in here lined up like so. I forgot to move the camera. But make sure this bolt goes in this back corner, because that's got the nut that holds this piece for the bracket on. And you just, you know, put your bolts in. And this first one will be a little tricky to get everything kind of lined up. But you'll get it. There you go. And then once I get that started, I have to go ahead and put it in most of the way, but leave it a little loose until you get the other two started. Now she's gonna turn real easy because she's lined up really nice. So we'll turn it with our our hand for as long as we have to. Yeah, cheap. Okay, now I gotta loosen her up a little bit. There we go. Now we'll put this bolt in. It goes up here. This is the fun one to get to. Sometimes you gotta push the axle in just a little to get it. This one's going in by hand though. There we go. Now, put this one in. And now this one, I'll just go ahead and tighten it all the way up. Go. Now we'll put this on. There we go. Now put our ABS sensor on that bracket, maybe. There it goes. Now we'll plug our ABS wire in there. That's good enough. Alright. Yeah, now we gotta tighten up our other bolts and make sure they're all good and tight. There, okay. Now we're ready to put this back on. And yes, you are supposed to torque these. I find that setting number 2 on my impact wrench seems to torque them right about to the right amount every time, so that's how I do it. Just till it stops turning. I guarantee you, if I take the torque wrench out and I measure that, it's going to be right on the money. But if you're doing this, you should use a torque wrench if you don't know what your tools do, you know. So, I'm going to go ahead and just get these off real quick. Okay, we're set there. Alright. So now I'm going to just, before I put the caliper and rotor back on, I'm going to work on the sway bar link. Or sway bar bushing. So, there's my tie rod end. Here's the top of my sway bar link. You can't really see it from your angle, but trust me. So I gotta get this loose, and if this breaks, I'm gonna have to get another one. But then I gotta get these 2 bolts out for the sway bar bushing, and I'm really gonna need some play in it to get that bushing replaced. So I think that is a 14, if I remember right. Let me try the bottom bolt and see what it is. Yeah, those are both 14s. Because it's aftermarket, it's not original GM. So I'm going to get the tools and then we'll work on getting this out. Oh. There, now we got her broke loose. Now I should be able to hit her with my impact and get it out. All right, there we go. And that's fine, we can just leave it just like that, kind of hang it in there. And now we're going to work on these bolts back here. Yeah, I'm going to turn the camera around. Okay, so now we just need to get these bolts out. Now these bolts, I've already pre-broken them loose and put a little WD on them and tightened them back down because they were pretty stiff. So I wanted to let those threads get good and worked in. A 15 millimeter mid-length is the perfect socket for this. On this side, I don't know if the mid-length fits on the other side. Might have to use a short there. Okay, now I gotta switch to a short. Get it the rest of the way. Okay, now it should come on up out of there. Alright, there's that one. And now this one, I think we gotta use a short. I don't know if the mid length will fit in there. Let's see. I used a short before because I didn't have my mid length out here, so. Switch back to the short now that it's up a little. There we go, that bolt's out. That one's out. So now we should be able to get this metal piece up off of here. And we'll want to clean that off a little bit. It's got all kinds of rusty scale and stuff on it. We'll clean that out off. And then here's our bad sway bar bushing. Man, that thing's really bad. No wonder it's been knocking like crazy whenever I hit a bump. So, alright, and I'll clean this off as good as I can too, and we'll put the new one on there. Alright, these bushings are always, they seem too big when you get new ones, but they usually will go on and tighten down. Okay. There's that. And you can see how big that seems compared to the old one, but it will tighten down in there. go, that's good. So now we'll just go ahead and we'll put this back together. Let me turn this around again. Okay. So my bushing fell out. The way these go is you have one here that goes up through here. Then you'll have another one with this metal piece on the top that goes here. Then you'll have this little bar that goes in here. Then you'll have another metal one it'll go in this way. And then those will end up going here under the sway bar. Sometimes you gotta just tap them with a hammer, give them a little oven. There. And then tap that on up through. Stick this on here. And I just have to find the bolt that went on it. Good luck finding that. There it is. Okay. I'm gonna put this bolt back on it and then we'll just tighten that back down. Okay, put this back on here. Then we'll just have to tap that a few times, get that off there. Yeah, it could actually go just a little tighter than that. Sometimes it's better to do this top part with a wrench so you can see it. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that sway bar bushing is done. Now we gotta go do the sway bar bushing on the other side. I think this is kind of messed up. There it goes. Finally. Man. Yeah, the whole bolt just came out. That's fine. So as you can see, the sway bar is split a little bit right here. It needs a new sway bar, but I am not going to do that. Although this looks like a pretty easy one to do. Just got to drop that rear subframe down a little and it'll slide in there. But I am not going to do that because it's an old car. And it'll probably be a long time before the sway bar breaks completely off. And we're going to try. Let's see if we can. Get this on here. Break loose. Doggone it. All right, that one's out. Now, just gotta get this off and find my screwdriver. Gotta bring it over here. Darn on it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's a bad bushing too. Look at that. Holy crap. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna go just clean this up a little bit. This one is not nearly as bad as the other one was. Passenger side's always worse for corrosion because it dries by the gutter where all the salt collects and splashes in there all winter long. So we will go and work on this and I'll be back. Okay, so now we're ready to put the new boot back in here. And I just spray this all down with some WD-40 just to give it a little lubrication as I'm putting everything kind of back together. This on here, this bushing. Oh, come on. There we go. It has a little groove that fits down in on the bottom, like a little indentation. We just put this on top. And then we're just gonna put our bolts in. Push it forward just a little. Get this bolt to go in the hole. Oh, hang on. I'm moving the camera accidentally. Get her to go in there straight. Okay, now we just got to put this one in. Get it to go in there straight. And I spread these bolts and bolt holes down with some good WD-40 to help them get a little lubrication. We should be set. We should be ready to tighten. Mid-length won't fit on that one, but it's tight. Okay, so that bushing's in there. And now we're ready to put this tie rod in back on. Tie rod in. Sway bar link. I call things the wrong things all the time. I don't know why, I just do. Now we're ready to. Oh crap! Trying to work around the camera here. Okay, there, there. You piece of crap! I'll tell you. No. Yep, she's gonna be a pain in the butt. We're gonna have to loosen her up a little. Give us a little extra room, I think. I mean, I can't get the jack out here and grab this and push it up. Let me try that first. All right, she's back in there. I just took my jack down here and I jacked that sway bar up right here, and then I was able to fit her in there. They just, when you get new bushings in them, they get extra tight and stuff. You just gotta move it a little bit, and it'll go ahead and go on in there. And then we tightened her down, and she's good to go. These bushings aren't great. You know, you can see they're starting to split. These were cheap AutoZone bushings I put in them 2-3 years ago, so they're about gone. But hey, they're working for now. I'm gonna leave them. All right. Now I'm ready to move on with changing oil and stuff. All right, so I went ahead and changed the oil off camera. I just changed it real quick, nothing special there. But I was gonna rotate these tires too, and so I pulled this back wheel off, and these brake pads are getting pretty low. And it's been pad slapped once before. I didn't pad slap it, but it's got grooves back there in the rotor. It's got a little groove in the pad. I'm just gonna pad slap it again. Like I said, cheap car, not putting any extra money in it. Gonna pad slap it. Now I did have these apart a few years ago because I changed this rear wheel hub because the wheel bearing was bad. But those pads weren't nearly that worn back then. So it's time to go ahead and replace them again. You know, I might have put pads on it 3 years ago. I might have been the one that pad slapped it. I can't remember. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get another set. Throw those on there while I got the wheels off, because they got probably 6 months left on them. And rather than letting them get metal to metal, we'll just do it. And I pad slapped the front too. It was metal to metal on one side, and I pad slapped it like last year. But you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do to keep it running. When it's my personal car, I don't really care if I do them right. You know, when I do a customer's car, I'm careful to do everything right. So I'm gonna see if the old truck that's got 500,000 miles on it will fire up. I haven't driven it in a few months. It's been, well, I've moved it a couple times to cut the grass under it, but I haven't moved it in probably 2 months. So we're gonna see if she'll fire up. She got lights. Let's see. Oh, she got that battery. All right, I'm gonna have to go get the jump pack. Let's see how much juice I got left in her. She's at 86%. That should be good enough. All right. I guess I got a Roll King battery. It's probably not the right one, but you know, it's probably the cheap one. It's not the right one. It don't fit right. You know, I just get the cheapest battery that they have in these old cars. Oh, crap. There we go. Now we'll see if she'll fire up. She runs. The odometer doesn't work on her, so I have to read the mileage out of it with the computer. But, all right, now we're good to go. All right, let's work on these brakes. So I'm just gonna kind of quickly clean off this brake hardware a little bit and throw my new pads on here. I'm not gonna take this bracket off and clean it all the way off. Well, I would if it was a customer's car, but it's not a customer's car, so I don't really care. We'll spray a little brake clean on it. Woo, brake clean remembers where I cut my finger. You might not remember where you cut your finger, but brake clean does. Oh crap, that stinks. Woo! Now I will spray these off a little too and just kind of wipe them down. But there is quite a bit of rust on them, but you know, it'll last for now. I got the cheap pads so they don't come with the new hardware. Okay. So now we got to push our thingy back in. Let me go get a giant C-clamp. All right. Sorry. Oh, I already pushed her back in with that, and so now I'm just gonna spray this down a little, try to clean that off as much as I can. Okay, so now we're just gonna put a little lube on it. Oh, come on, open. Lord. Okay, put that back on. Now I gotta get the brake pads out. One with the squealer tab and one without. Now, since I am not putting new brake hardware on, I'm going to just put a little bit of lube on these notches just to help them lube them up a little. I normally don't do that, and I'll put a little bit here too. And that brake pad's going to go in the front. Hopefully. Hopefully it's going to. There. Okay. And now the one with the squealer tab on it goes in the back. And we'll do the same thing there. Put a little bit of lube right here in the middle where the caliper hits it. And we're just going to lube these just a little bit down in here. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to clean my slide pins off too, and we're going to re-lube those. Okay. Get the boot right. The boot set up right. There we go. Now the one with the bushing went on the top on this side. Put a little lube right there. Put a little again on it. Put a sticker in there. Get the bottom one lubed. Let me get that boot tucked back in here right there. And I can get the bolt through it. Alright. Now I just gotta tighten her down. Now I always go with the cheap pads when you're dealing with any kind of damaged rotor because these are organic pads. The organic pads will wear a lot quicker than the semi-metallic and they'll wear into that groove better. So you'll get better stopping power. But really, to do this right, it should get a new rotor. But I'm being cheap because this is my own car. But you can tell how much more there is on a new pad than the old pad. The old pads were getting pretty low. So it was definitely time for them to get replaced. Or it would have been really soon. Alright, now I'm going to take the front tire and put it on in the back here. And then we're done with this side of the brakes and we'll do the other side. Alright, well, this has never happened to me before. It has almost happened, but it's never actually happened. I never actually dropped the car. I never actually had a jack stand collapse. I had one jack stand collapse, the other jack stand rolled over, and she hit the ground. I got out from under her just in time. Holy crap. Yeah, you can see that jack stand laying on the side down there. I don't know what all it hit. But yeah, that's not good. It's not good at all. Luckily, I got the back tire back on it because it rolled off the jack in the back too. Holy crap. And it started rolling down the driveway and then it hit the jack and stopped because I didn't have but one wheel chock and it was on this side and I didn't have the other wheel chocks. But now I gotta see if I can get her back up off the ground and see what kind of damage it's done. Holy crap. Never had one fall on me before. I never had a jack stand decide to give up the ghost. Those are those big red jack stands. I got rid of my Harbor Freight ones because they were unsafe. I got these big reds and it just collapsed on me. Holy crap. Wow. That's real exciting. Okay, we'll see if I can get her up. With the amount of time I have spent working under these jack stands, trusting my life to them, I am not happy. Let's see if I can get under it here. Boy, this is a mess. And what we'll have a little bit from back here. Let's see. Maybe I can get a piece of wood under it. Oh, heck. This is why normally I stick the tires under the darn car, so that if she does fall down, she don't go farther than the tire. Okay, let's try that. Let's go ahead and go a little. We're not going higher right there. Still can't. I can get farther up. In anymore. Freaking piece of junk. Oh crap. Here on the main jacking spot. Okay. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, now I gotta go try to take the other side up a little bit. Okay. Down to the main jacking spot on this side. This one still locks, but it rolled over when the other one collapsed. Okay, I'm gonna have to find something I can put under here to hold it after I get her jacked the rest of the way up and get her on jack stands. Let me go get my other jack stands out of my car. Well, they're actually in this car. So come on. Let go. Bitch. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna keep going up with it. We're gonna hope she goes on up. Let's go up just another inch or two. Oh shit. I am off the jacking spot. There, okay. Let's let her down. Okay. She sure tore the heck out of my driveway. I don't think anything's damaged. It's amazing. Don't look like it damaged the oil pan or anything else. Wow. It's amazing. Alright, let me get these jack stands put into place now. And these are the big red 2-tons that I keep for my mobile work. But these big reds are going to end up going in the trash. I'm spending the money on a really good professional set of jack stands. Holy crap. Wow. I am definitely going to spend the money on some snap-on jack stands or some kind of jack stands, because that's my life. That could have got real bad. That could have been really bad. I am a lucky man today. I am throwing these big reds in the trash. I'm going to use these little ones I keep for the mobile loadout to finish this up. But holy crap. Yeah, check this one out. It does not lock in place. It slips. Piece of crap. Piece of crap. That company needs to be sued for making crap. Wow. All right, folks. So this is done. I got the brakes changed on the other side, rotated that tire as well. And I went ahead, I picked it up, and nothing got damaged underneath of it. It's fine. I've changed the oil in it, and I went ahead and put the new belt on it. I just gotta move that plastic cover. There's a plastic cover under here. I gotta put it back. Drag racers. I put that belt on. You have to get it from underneath to get the tensioner though. Got that on. So I'm about ready to let her down. I'm gonna put that plastic cover back on and let her down. But that jack stand, you know, it didn't roll back because I let it down. When I let that rear tire down, this jack stand just dropped. And that side of the car was like chunk. And then it started rolling. And it tipped this jack stand and that one over after this one collapsed. After this one collapsed, it tipped them both over. And then it started rolling back once it hit the ground. And then it hit the jack and it stopped. So, yeah, it was definitely that jack stand collapsed. Just because the car moved a little bit and it didn't hold. That's scary crap. I will never buy another big red jack stand ever again. I suggest if you have them, you get rid of them. I'm going to buy real jack stands. Now these have an extra thing you can stick in them, but those things fell off a long time ago and I lost them. But that's just to stop you from lifting the handle. It's not supposed to hold it up. The ratcheting mechanism's supposed to. I'm not ever buying one of those. I'm probably gonna go see the Snap-on guy, somebody, and see if I can buy a really good quality, a couple sets of jack stands. It's just worth it. I gotta get another lug nut for here. This one was missing. AutoZone don't have any stock in them. AutoZone, Advance, all them places are out of lug nuts lately. I don't know why. I'll just go to the junkyard and get one. But yeah, topped off the coolant. It uses a little coolant. About once every 6 months I have to add a little bit. And yeah, other than that, she's good to go. She's good to go. I'm glad it didn't damage anything. I'm glad it didn't damage me. But that's scary when they you know, I was just under it, like changing the oil and crap. If it would have happened then, I'd be dead. I mean, it came down fast. Like, it was like chunk, chunk, boom, and sliding. It was like, it's almost instant. Scary crap. Really scary. Anyway, that's all I got. I just quit recording after all that happened because I was just way too flustered. And I just wanted to get it done. And then I went in and had me some dinner. And now I'm getting ready to go fix the stove. So, but that's scary stuff. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, the Frugal Prepper.